So just the other day, I uploaded a video covering a serious problem with Duel Links. And since Konami is probably not going to do anything about it, I took it upon myself to find a solution. And the solution is simple. We ban fusion summoning. Introducing Non-Fusion Area, a card which, as the name suggests, prevents all fusion summoning. And you might be surprised to learn just how many decks in the current meta are actually utilising fusion summoning. We've of course got your hero, which this card shits on, we've got your Predaplant, which this card also shits on, and keep in mind, both those decks are currently the best 2 decks in the game. Then of course we have things like your Shadow, we've got your Dragon Maids, the poor people trying out Invoked, basically any fusion summoning whatsoever, this card completely demolishes. Now of course, this strategy isn't going to be foolproof. We've got cards like MST, which is going to straight up just remove it unless you have Spell or Trap negation. We've got decks like your hero that just place a big monster on the field via their skill, and you're still going to have to deal with those. We've got decks like Dragon Maid that can place Spell or Trap card removal in their back row that you're going to have to deal with, otherwise it will remove your continuous trap. And we've also got things like special summons that aren't technically fusion summons. So stuff like your Neo's Fusion just summoning out a monster to the field that isn't technically a fusion summon, despite the card being called Neo's Fusion, and it's summoning a fusion monster. And also stuff like, of course, your Crystal Beast, which summon out a giant fusion monster that isn't counted as a fusion summon. But if you are able to set up your field in such a way, we can deal with these sort of smaller problems that might affect your trap card. The trap card by itself will become the win condition. It will win the game for you. Let me show you. Alright, so today I've got 4 replays to share with you guys, all of which were taken from the event, which is why you'll notice a whole list of varying different ranks here. I think one of these might have been taken from the ladder, but the majority of them were taken from the event, which is why I've got some Legends, some Platinums, probably some whatever rank this is. We've got your King of Games, just a whole bunch of different ranks, because the whole point is, I just want to show this trap card bullying a whole bunch of hero decks. I was actually in the event, just spam surrendering until I came across hero players just to get a replay of me bullying them for this video. So that's essentially what this is, just a whole bunch of bullying of hero players. Alright, let's check it out. So I was also hoping to get replays of Predaplant and Dragon Maid, but those decks just seem to be way less popular than hero, so I just wasn't able to find very many players playing them, so yeah, and the few that I did, quite often I just wouldn't open the trap card, so anyway. Because that is one of the problems with this deck, if you're looking for... This deck, honestly, Crystal Beast probably isn't the best place to play this trap card. It's just I've been enjoying Crystal Beast, so I wanted to show it off in this deck. But you can play the trap card literally anywhere. Alright, so up against hero, of course we've opened the trap card. So now we're just going to set up the rest of the field in a way that can hopefully deal with the other problems that could come from hero. Alright, doing some Pegasus-y stuff, attaching 2 more Pegasus. These 2 become your Link 2. Making a Link 3. So the only difference between this deck list and the one I uploaded the other day, for those that are interested, I basically cut the Droplet, and this replay I still had it, but I basically cut the Droplet just to have more chances of opening this trap card, and I've turned the Link 3 into Nightmare Unicorn because it's just a better Link 3 than the other one I was using. And I was using the Shuffle basically every game anyway. Alright, Ruby going to be summoning 2 Pegasus forward, Pegasus going to be equipping to the 2 back row, making your Firewall, making the Cerberus to make it immune to destruction, Rainbow Dragon summoning forward, special summoning the Rainbow Dragon from the hand. Alright, and these 2 become your Nightmare Phoenix, making the blah 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 Sun Avalon card, searching for the trap card, and finally making the fusion before setting the 2 traps and passing. Now I could set this up in a way where this thing has the 11,000 attack. Typically I either want to set it up with 11,000 attack, which I think is better because it's better against Droplet, or you can set it up where you have 2 big guys in your banish zone to summon back 2 3,000s when you shuffle back the whole field. If you do it the other way, then you can have this card be a bit more safer to Droplet, but I think it's kind of up in the air. I think being safer to Droplet is probably better, but if you want to have better follow-up, which is bigger dragons, then yeah, you're going to have this thing be a smaller attack value. Alright, activating Non-Fusion Area. Keep in mind, if you want to use this card, you want to use it basically in the draw step before your opponent has the option to use their skill. Otherwise, they can Super Poly before you get a chance to respond. So now you can activate the non-fusion area before they get to do it, and you don't need to have anything to respond to it. The Super Poly is just not usable. It completely decimates Super Poly, which is the whole good reason about it. Your opponent doesn't get to deal with it at all. Opponent gets an Armed Dragon. I don't even know if he even bothers playing it out. Flip his face up. We're just going to get rid of that. To be fair, this... Actually, no, never mind. I was going to say it was immune to destruction, but it's actually not. Stratos is also a card to worry about with Hero, because it's a spell and trap card removal. Technically, if he gets another hero on the field as well, like if you use the skill to place a Neos on the field, then he normal summons the Stratos, so you can sort of try to remove it. So make sure you play a deck that has actual removal sources in it to deal with things they're going to play, or stuff like Negation, like the Sun Avalon Bloom or something. But yeah, he just realizes he can't actually play the game and concedes. Alright. So there are a couple of scary things. Like you'll notice in some of these replays, the hero player actually gets ridiculously close to still breaking the field, despite not being able to fusion summon, which is just like... It's actually like a detriment, whatever the word is, to the skill, to show that this skill is still able to play through a card that says, you can't fusion summon sometimes. Majority of the time, if you've got a decent setup, they're not playing through it, but it's still kind of crazy that because of the amount of tech cards they run, they could still technically get through the non-fusion area. I know I had one player that, when I had the full setup, they just sphere moded me, and I'm like, oh, well, shit. But that's also probably because I'm playing Crystal Beast with the card rather than a deck that's probably better for it. Because Crystal Beast is notorious for being very, like, glass cannon-y. If they actually remove your big fusion before it gets to use its effect, you've got, like, no follow-up, so... Alright, Pegasus going to be equipping a couple of dudes. Making the Baron Blossom. Making the Unicorn. Getting a draw, getting a shuffle back. So I still hadn't removed the Droplet yet. I don't think I even removed the Droplet till the last couple of replays, but I just wanted to have less cards in my deck because I wasn't seeing the trap card enough for the video. Alright, making the Firewall. Cerberus. Alright, and there it is. Nightmare Phoenix into our Sun Avalon, and we have all the materials required for our big boy. I still didn't go for the 11,000 attack here, which I think I should start doing more often. I think in the last replay you'll see me put 11,000 attack on the field. Alright, non-fusion area being active. Stratos being able to surge. Going to be grabbing... Here's a Droplet. Yeah, so I think there's like a special interaction between this card and Droplet. This thing has like 11,000 attack. Because Droplet, it changes the attack value. So despite this card being negated, the Droplet sets the attack value to half still. So this thing would still have like a billion attack and your opponent can't just beat over it. So I think it's kind of important to, play around Droplet more with this deck. So I'm going to start making sure this thing's on 11,000 attack rather than having two big dragons banished. Alright, he's going to beat over it, but we're just going to bounce his card. He's going to try to remove the non-fusion area with the Armed Dragon. This poor guy. But we've still got Sun Avalon Bloom, so good on him. Good try. Normal summon, and he's dead. I mean, that was a decent try. He did actually have a card on field that nearly got rid of it. Alright, I don't think this replay was using the trap card. I think I was just bullying a hero player in this one. I think I was going second here and did a good job of bullying the hero player, so I wanted to show it anyway. Because who doesn't want to see hero players getting bullied, so... Alright, go on second with Crystal Beast, which isn't what they're mostly known for, but I do think it's kind of cool this deck can go second, even without cards like Droplet. Especially because the skill can potentially just place a trap on field that can use immediately. So this guy's doing a whole bunch of hero stuff, just blah blah blah, click skill, activate stuff, and there's his deck. 2 cards, got a dude on field, and a pop. Alright, placing our trap on field, our Conclave. He's going to remove that immediately, has no interest in me getting to use that. Alright, Crystal Beacon going Bond as well. Bond's going to place a dude on field that we can use. Rainbow Dragon placing a card on field. Then we can normal summon. Our opponent is not going to do anything to deal with that. So we can go straight for a Nightmare Phoenix and target one of the back row to force it out. Hit with a Veiler, which is kind of nice for us. Because Veiler is terrifying versus this deck. So now our Golden Rule is completely safe to summon our Ruby. Summon 2 things out. Well, we might have had another Veiler, but we're still fine. Nightmare Unicorn, targeting the Super Polymerization. He's going to remove a card on field. Making his Escorado, how do you pronounce that? But I've now got the perfect amount of materials to summon out the Rainbow Dragon. He Kaboons it, we don't care. All those materials, it's a fusion summon, so it doesn't even matter if they're face down. Boom. 11,000 damage straight to the dome. That was a lot. We played through what? A Fate Veiler, Book of Moon, a Quick Effect Pop, and a Super Poly. That's kind of crazy for a deck that's not typically known for good going second, so... Yeah, Crystal Beast is actually a lot better than I think people think. The only issues with it that I notice is the lack of follow-up is really painful. If they tribute off your fusion monster with like Predaplan or something, that could feel pretty bad. They just get rid of it in general, it feels pretty bad. Droplet's also a bit of a concern. You have got some back row options, but yeah. Alright, up against this dude. Alright. So discarding 2, grabbing the Golden Rule and the Beacon. Putting 2 on the field. Ruby Barnacle bringing forward. Alright, these 2 become the Baron Blossom. I've also found a lot of alternative lines of play now with Crystal Beast, where if you haven't opened things like the Pegasus, which feels kind of bad sometimes, depending on the rest cards in your hand, you still just end on the same end field. So if you open like multiple Pegasus, you end on the same end field. If you open like Pegasus and Crystal Bond, you can easily end on the same end field. The Pegasus and the Rainbow Bridge still ends on the same end field. So it's way less bricky than I originally thought too. This deck is actually like hella consistent. Even with just 1 card Pegasus combo, you can still end on the same sort of end field, just minus like 1 disruption, so... Alright, Cerberus summoning the Rainbow Dragon for the final time in the video. I think this time I did it properly. I made sure to make it so that I get this dude to 11,000 attack, I think. If I remember correctly. Alright, and again a reminder, I don't think Crystal Beast is the best place to play this trap card. There's probably way better decks to play it in. It's just, yeah, because Crystal Beast also clogs the back row, because if I had another search here to search for a spell and trap card, I wouldn't be able to place the Crystal Conclave on the field, just because it kind of clogs, so... Is this the best place to play it? No. I just want to play it in this deck because I enjoy Crystal Beast, so... Feel free to play this non-fusion area in basically any non-fusion deck whatsoever, or fusion decks like this one where it just ignores fusion summoning, just special summons it. Alright, Book of Eclipse being used, which is kind of annoying, but we've still got 2 face-ups, and that's still 2 disruptions. But unfortunately, he also has, I believe... I'm gonna have to bounce that card. He has a Forbidden Droplet as well, so he opened 2 insane going second cards. But thankfully for me, he's a bit of a dumbass. If he had another normal summon here and just popped this thing, that would have been absolutely just game winning if he just beat over this thing, because this card's already used its removal. But luckily, I've got my son Avalon. He thought he could do 4,000 damage right here. Maybe he didn't have another normal summon or something, or just thought this was lethal. But I've got a trap card here that allows me to gain the attack of my Firewall. So I do not die. Flips face back up. Flips back... That's bad English. Anyway, thank you guys for watching the video. That's going to do it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you didn't, leave a like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, go make use of this trap card. It's hella fun to use if you're someone that just really dislikes the current meta. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hope you see you in the next one. Laters.
Hey, big brother, can I watch SpongeBob?
Shut up, Mokuba. I'm busy flagging YouTube videos to compensate for the fact that I have an extremely small penis.
Oh.